Good morning. Happy Thursday, everyone. Today's the day that Jupiter rules, and Jupiter is currently retrograding through Gemini. We are at a very beautiful and critical time in our astrological experience. Trump was just reelected as president, which I personally believe is exactly what we need in order for us to wake the fuck up. It is, my life has taught me that the things that I resist, the things that I absolutely have no desire to do, the things that I think are the worst things are the things that actually turn out to be exactly what revolutionized my life, my spirit, my soul, and I am able to rise to the occasion of becoming something different. I have learned this trick. It's like, when I believe that somebody has power greater than me, it's true. But if I know that no matter what is going to happen, I'm going to show up and I'm going to do what I need to do for myself and I'm going to take care of myself, then that sends a signal to myself and the universe within me. And it's almost like a force of ancestors and spirit guides come and work things out on my behalf if I am willing to know that I am capable. It is a profound experience. So I feel like this is exactly what we need, and it's very exciting. Now, here's what I'm here to tell y'all. Mercury Retrograde shadow starts today. Mercury Retrograde shadow starts today. And Mercury doesn't go retrograde for 3 weeks. But the shadow period is a very powerful time because Mercury is retrograding in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is in the opposing sign in Gemini. And this is, what story are you telling yourself? Because Sagittarius, Jupiter is this energy that just makes whatever you have going on, it just makes it bigger. It just makes it more expansive because Jupiter is this what they call a benefic planet, which blesses everything and expands it. But if it's garbage, it's gonna bless the garbage. If it's illness, it's gonna expand whatever you give it. It's gonna make it bigger, right? So it is important that you begin to tell yourself the stories that you actually want to experience. Like, for me, I'm capable of meeting everything. I have everything I need within me. Magic is my entire life. Everything happens for me easily, gracefully. I have a big ass journal, y'all. Look at this journal I have, right? And I write down all of what I'm up to because I'm programming my consciousness, my mind, my body, my spirit into a unique relationship with the universe where nothing has power over me. Not a president, not a king, not a queen, not a man, not a child. Nothing has power. That is a big ass journal. You're right. And nothing has power over me. And I affirm this for myself on a constant, regular basis. And what I'm beginning to see happen is I have reprogrammed. When I was a child, I used to have reoccurring bladder infections. I was also a bedwetter because I was in an environment that was so traumatizing for me. So I didn't have control and relationship with my emotions. So I have been using herbs like juniper berry and olive leaf and saw palmetto to heal those, because the body remembers everything. So, as we mature and age and we've had enough experiences that disappoint us and hurt our feelings, the body is holding on to that. And how do you heal it? The herbs. The herbs will help you release those old belief systems, experiences out of the body system. And then I get my hammer, right? This is like a hammer made of wormwood and mugwort. And I bang my body so that my body will release the old tension, release the old, patterns of fear and disappointment, and something my mother said that hurt my feelings when I was 2 years old that I'm still holding on to right now, and the fact that my daddy wasn't there, and that shit is still lodged in the body, okay? And so we're going to get it out of the body, then we're going to use the herbs, we're going to do breath work to move these old constricted patterns, belief systems, feelings, emotions, heartbreak out of the system. You got to be with it. So I bang on my back and all of this sort of stuff, and my feet, right? Like literally my feet. I'm like, okay, getting it out. Because here's the thing. Every part of the body is aligned to the astrology. Every part of the body. The feet are Pisces. Today, the moon is in the final stages of Capricorn. That's the structure. The Capricorn is the bones, the systems that make everything work. So I work with herbs to realign my own bone system. And then Aquarius, the moon is going to go into Aquarius. Aquarius is the higher self. It is the spirit self. It is the consciousness of the higher self. So I will work with that energy because I'm realigning and rebuilding my own system according to my astrology, how I'm meant to function, which means that I have to let go of those old trauma, karmic patterns that come through my lineage. My daddy was a pimp. My mama was a hoe. My mama, my great grandmother was raped by a white man who did such and such. All that kind of shit is still held in the system. And so we do the work to release it because it's showing up in your life anyway right now. It's showing up because it's invisible forces, it's like entities, right? Diabetes is an entity. Addiction is an entity. Shame is an entity. Doubt is an entity. All of these are entities. And when I was a Christian, they would, I would be in church and they would say the devil. And I used to be like, what is that? Like, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. But when I started really studying energy and understanding that doubt is a demon, that fear, shame is a demon, I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. We all walking around possessed because everybody's afraid, everybody's ashamed, everybody's sad, everybody's depressed, everybody, all of these, those are the demons. All of these things that we practice unconsciously, I'm afraid that this isn't going to happen. Such and such is elected. I'm afraid they're going to do this to me. Like, when I started to realize that I just was carrying all of these narratives and fears that were not mine, that had nothing to do with me, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, it's like I was coded, C-O-C-O-D-E-D, coded with fear and shame and worry. Shame about being black, shame about my sexual desires, shame about something my mama said, shame about not having enough money, shame about, being attractive. All sorts of just things stuck on the system. I just said I see too much mental illness. That's right. And it's all over. That's right. It's just the American way. Everything is making us afraid of being who we're meant to be. Everything. And, Amira, you've traveled to another, you're not here right now. At least I think you're not here. And when you get away from our system and you get out of it, you see that we are just filled with fear. We're just filled with fear. These systems have conditioned us to believe that other people have power over us, and they do not. They do not. When you fear, you can be. That's right. I've seen sides of people I didn't know existed. And that's right. It's all entities. Literally, it's entities. And these entities lodge inside of you. The other day, I had I'm going to share this with you. I've released myself from at least 2 entities. Because I grew up in a family where my mother was a prostitute, my father was a pimp, so I was exposed to sex very, very early, just by being in the environment. Like, It's not, nobody has sex with me, them having sex with one another. As a child, I was so open, I just absorbed their energy. And so that started in me a yearning for sex at a very young age, which also then impacts. So the other day I remembered, like, I do this internal thing that I have done it with food where I'm not really hungry. I'm not hungry. My body's not hungry, but my mind is going crazy with, I want to eat this, I want to eat that, over time, I used to just feed it and just start eating. And then one day I started really doing some healing, and I noticed that my body wasn't hungry. I was like, my body is not hungry, but my mind is going crazy. So I started to unpack that and realize, I remember when I was a child, I grew up in an environment where I didn't like the food. Like I didn't like my grandmother's food. And so I didn't eat her food, and it created like an eating disorder inside of me. I never wanted her food. So I would be at war inside of myself about the food that I was being served, and I didn't like it, and I didn't want it. And it was a way that I could control myself. And here I am in my 50s still doing the same thing because it became a pattern and a program. And taking the herbs has helped me identify it and literally just telling myself the truth. And it's like, oh, and when I identify it and see it, I felt the entity release me. I felt it release me. I felt it come up like a like a mucus just come up out of me. And it was like a internal battle, a war around how to nourish myself. What is nourishing and what is not? What, like, is this friendship nourishing? How am I digesting my life? How am I digesting my food? How am I digesting my connections with others? How am I digesting this information? All of that was clogged up in my system. And so I couldn't really enjoy food. Everywhere I went, I was like, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, right? So it's important that we understand that the way we're relating to the external world, the story we're telling ourselves about it, this is good, I don't like that, I don't want this, all that, those thoughts are real things. They're like webs that come and weave you into an experience that locks you there. All of those thoughts, I'm telling you, y'all, like, whoo, for whatever reason, the grace of God has given me the opportunity to have the space to be able to discern, to see how I'm creating my reality and how these narratives, behaviors, practices, ancestral patterns are imposing themselves upon me today. And because my deepest desire is freedom, what I want more than anything is freedom. I can feel it in my body. I can feel constriction in my body, and I can feel freedom in my body. And I have not known freedom, and I am beginning to know it. But what I have discovered is the way I am knowing it is by undoing the ways that I have restricted myself through things that I have given my power away to. I believe I need a man to be happy. That's giving my power away. I believe I need money to have this life I want. That's giving my power away. I believe a doctor can heal me better than I can heal myself. That's giving my power away. I believe that some president is going to make me good or bad. I'm giving my power away. So when I started to really break down the ways that I was mentally giving my power away, which emotionally created a constriction in my body, it's like it's releasing me from the need for external affirmation, because what I know is true for me. What I say is true for me. I know what's going on in my body more than anybody else does. my body speaks to me. What's happening with you right now? Oh, and then I sit with it. I might have to sit with it for a couple of hours, but recently I had a sty coming through my eye, and I had been doing some work on my liver, like meditating and loving my liver, and because the liver can rebuild itself. The liver is the organ that is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is the planet of benefit. So the liver is cleaning toxins out, and so I literally was remembering and just holding my liver and just remembering being a little girl who hated the food that my grandmother was serving me, who was just so angry that the food was not good to me. And because I could remember that, literally, I'm loving myself. And the liver told me to take Yellow Dock. So I started taking Yellow Dock. And the Yellow Dock cleans out the cells at the deepest level. So now all of that childhood angst, that sense of powerlessness. Oh, I can't do nothing about it. I'm helpless. All that sense of powerlessness is, and it's cleaning out, and I can feel my power, my energy starting to come back. My intuition is getting stronger, my psychic abilities, my manifestation skills, because they were blocked. They were clogged up with disappointment and fear and sadness. Those frequencies, those channels had been blocked because I was holding despair and disappointment and shame and sadness from my mother and my great grandmother, all that sort of stuff. The work is real, y'all. The work is real. And so now I have to just beginning to tell myself, I love myself. And then yesterday I started to realize, the universe, when you plug into the work, the universe starts to send you all these signals. The other day I cut my thumb a little bit, just a little bit. I cut it and 2 days later, it was really bothering me. And I was like, why is my thumb bothering me so much? Why is my thumb? And so I looked at it and I was like, oh, I cut it. And then I went and looked at the astrological hand to see what the thumb means. And the thumb is ruled by Venus. And Venus is about your senses, your feelings. How do you feel? How do you feel? Do you feel beautiful? Your appearance, your skin, right? So I was like, what do I need to give? How can I strengthen my Venetian? So I got my copper and put my copper on and started taking copper and wearing it. And now I literally can feel my energy field because copper is a conduit. So I can feel my energy, my Taurus energy starting to move around me because of the Venus energy. I'm telling you. And then that Venus is also the, listen, Venus is also the kidneys. Venus is the bladder. Venus is the water that runs through the body. So when I drink my water, I talk to it. I say, thank you so much for healing my body, for clearing me out. Thank you for helping me release and all the toxins. I mean, I've been doing this work for years, but the detoxification part of the body and the mind is profound. And so I'm having a really profound experience, and I want y'all to know that Mercury Retrograde starts today. The shadow starts today. And the shadow in Sagittarius is about your faith in yourself. The thoughts that you think are creating your reality. Your faith in yourself. Sagittarius is faith. It's philosophy. It's your belief in yourself. It's the thing that connects you to the invisible, unseen realm. It's believing that the Creator is working on your behalf. It's knowing that the animals are giving you messages. It's really this faith, the things that you cannot see, but they are real. They are there. Just because you can't see them doesn't mean they're not there, right? So that's what this is. And it's starting the shadow period. So we now have 9 weeks from today to work with this energy, to build your faith, to reconstruct your belief systems, to reorganize your connection, your mind, your thoughts, how you think, to activate a new mental way of being in this world. to recognize that everything is serving you. Everything is happening for you. Nothing is happening against you. And when it's the most challenging things, it's a fucking celebration. If it's really, really, really like, ooh, if the more challenging it is, the more power is available. The more challenging it is, the more power it is available. Okay? So, yeah, so I just wanted to, somebody said a question. Oh, in Chinese medicine, the liver governs the emotions. It's especially stagnated by emotions. That's right. That's right. And I literally just bang on my liver. Oh, and I just, get it out. Get it out of there. Get it out of there. And I have totally reorganized my whole digestive system because I'm a Virgo, and it was totally it was corrupted, but I fixed it. So I love y'all so very much. You can book natal chart readings. You can book transit readings. Gabrielle and I are going to be offering a class soon. I'm going to be doing some local stuff here in Los Angeles. Just come to the park and let's meditate together and be in love and kindness and community with one another. And I'll make more announcements about that shortly. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. I love you. Bye-bye.